a few deer that we know of. We watch year to year to year. You know, we might miss them a year or two in a 4, 5, 6 year span, but that's the highlight for me, is being able to follow a certain deer, not necessarily follow, but just see a deer, you know, once, twice a year for multiple years. That's the pinnacle for me.
This country can be humbling and defeating. We've both experienced the bitterness of defeat down here, and by that I mean we've come down and hunted and never notched our tag, never killed a deer. Both of us have went home empty-handed from Utah. I wouldn't say that you're unsuccessful, it's just that you never got to notch your tag, and anytime, in my opinion, you get to come chase a deer of that caliber, it's a fun time, especially with the people that we hunt with.
Leo and I came down a few days before opening day because we wanted to do some pre-scouting. I met Gunner, my guide, and his brother was with him because I've just known him for many years and they're like family to us. So he wanted to come down just to be a part of it, to support me.
Yeah, so we kind of grew up deer hunting, you know, as a family. Oh shoot, from little kids, our dad and grandpa always took us every year on the rifle deer hunt, and I mean shoot, from when we was 4 or 5 years old, and about the camaraderie and the stories, you know, with good friends and family when you do get to go hunt them. But I don't know, it's been embedded in my mind since I was a little kid. Anyway, we'd go hunt the desert country, and I'd say that's kind of how we learned, you know, to hunt these big old smart bucks, is learning off of their tracks and, you know, trying to somewhat pattern them, I guess you could say, and got to spend lots and lots of time and boots on the ground, I would say, really just figuring them out and seeing what they do and the country they go to, and, you know, what they eat, I guess you could say, finding their feed patterns, you know, where they're gonna be certain times a year.
We were all spread out looking in hopes that we would be able to find some tracks or possibly a big deer that I know Gunner has told me about, and my husband Leo's told me about, that they've seen years prior, but nobody's really ever got a really good close look or had the opportunity to, when the time came, to even get a chance to try to harvest this deer.
It wasn't an optimal year for moisture in terms of a deer wasn't going to reach its fullest potential with horn growth. We knew that coming in. We were able to dig up a buck that we've known of for quite some time. We feel the deer's probably 10 years old. As a management standpoint, you can't top a very good trophy with a lot of age like that. We searched a lot all summer and never saw the deer, never turned him up, but we were persistent, and the night before opening morning we stumbled onto it.
There was a lot of excitement and just, you know, getting myself mentally ready. I always try to keep myself calm and just be really grateful that I'm out. And again, I just love, God has created so many beautiful places in this world, and the opportunity that I've been blessed to have a tag like this, I was in hopes of just, you know, trying to keep calm and not get too excited, but we just started glassing, and shortly thereafter, mid-morning, there in the distance, we spotted one about 1.5 miles away, and we knew that most likely was that buck from the night before. And you could just tell by, you know, the body, seeing a body that big at 1.5 miles. I immediately just tried to keep myself calm, just asking God for that strength, that peace, that calm. We ended up going around about 1.5 miles, and then we had to go climb up another hill, and we had to sneak and get into position.
You know, hunting big, older class, intelligent mule deer that got some age on them. People have asked me, specifically Kerry's cameraman, he's filmed many hunts, sheep, elk, some mule deer. But with our background, he was quizzing us on what's it take to get these big mature bucks, you know, located and put on the ground. And the one thing that I've stressed to many degrees, almost to the borderline, they think I'm crazy, is that you have to maintain silence when you're hunting these big, old, intelligent deer. And any little noise that you make, they're gonna bust you. They're gonna locate you. We made a nice stalk in, and we had him bedded at probably it was 10 o'clock, I think, by the time we got in position. And we were 425 yards. We needed the deer to stand for Kerry to have a shot opportunity. Just a good learning experience on how intelligent these old bucks are. The cameraman was moving around and he clicked one of his buckles on his camera strap, and the buck stood up instantly. And we had a 10-mile-an-hour breeze, so the buck's bedded 425 yards, had a 10-mile-an-hour breeze, which is going to cover any noise that we might make. He stood up and faced right away, knew exactly where the noise come from, even at that distance with the 10-mile-an-hour breeze, looked directly at us, and the game was on a little faster than we wanted it to happen. Okay, get ready, Gary, if you're hunting.
Ready?
Yep.
Do you want me to take a shot or no?
Yes.
In the throat.
No, right on his shoulder. Okay, go ahead, honey.
Where'd he go?
He's right there.
Okay, I see him. Got him. How far?
He's
How far?
he laid down.
I knew I had a good shot in him, but I immediately got right back on him. Then we saw a horn come up, and then he laid down, and I literally saw the legs flip upside down. And so we decided to sneak a little closer.
Right behind you, I can see.
Walking up to it, it was pretty special. You know, when you think of everything that deer has seen and all the storms it's weathered and all the obstacles that have lined up against it at that age, it's pretty special to walk up and hold and admire such a, I mean, that's as much of a trophy as anything, really. It's kind of hard to put into words. You just have to hold it and shake your head in awe what an animal goes through. We all feel like that the deer 10 years old at a minimum. We first noticed the deer in 2018 and feel like the deer was 4, if not 5 years old then in 2018. 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember now, but the state of Utah put a ban on trail cameras after July 31st. We had the deer on camera, I think, in 18, 19, and 20. Didn't see anything of the deer in 21, 22. Never glassed him up. We kind of carted him off as, you know, fell prey to predators or, you know, hard to say what happened to him, but we kind of chalked it up as he was probably a goner until last summer in 23 we found the buck again. Honestly worried about it this year too until, you know, the night before opening. Outside of the trail cameras, we'd seen the buck. I mean, between 2 or 3 of us, we'd only seen the buck maybe 3 times in that span from 2018 to this year. And the number of people and, like, dedicated people that spent after this deer, this thing's probably been the hardest hunted deer in the area for 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Walking up on a deer like that is, you know, is truly special. A deer that's, you know, lived that long, eluded a bunch of hunters. You know, it's just something special for all of us, you know, on a deer like that that's been around that long, has had a bunch of time put into him, you know, able to just finally hold him in your hands after that many years, and it's a special moment for all of us, and all the hard work and dedication that's been put into finding that deer and everything, and to finally put him in your hands is a moment, you know, we'll cherish forever and never forget.
That hook makes him.
I love
Huh?
that hook.
Almost makes him this year, doesn't it?
I love the hook. I love, you know, like these little accent, whatever they are. Knowing a little bit more about this deer and how this deer has been so elusive and only seen by a handful of times because the deer was so smart and stealthy, and to make everything like something like this happens, it really takes fate, faith, and have great people with you to help make this all happen. I know I really want to say that this is a dream buck of a lifetime for me. So I'm just more than grateful, and I'm on top of the moon, and just so thankful for my husband Leo is right by my side. Gunnar is an amazing human being and awesome guide. And his brother Bodie that we just all care about so much, and I just am so grateful that we were all doing it together.